everybody. As you saw in the intro, I've got some of these displays that scroll some text across them. What they are is they're using a MAX7219 chip, and I found some kits on eBay that I thought were cheap enough to just try out. They work well, but I thought the instructions for how to put them together weren't incredibly clear. So the third one I've got here, I'm going to try to put together just so you have an idea how they go and what's in the bag. So they come in an anti-static bag. I'm going to open that up. In the bag are all the parts we're going to need. The dot matrix display and the chips on the back. Okay. Now the header pins that hold the dot matrix display on come in one strip of 10, but we need to break that down into two strips of 5. Now I'm going to place the headers into the board and solder them in. Okay, next component I'm going to put on is the electrolytic capacitor. See on these, they've got a long lead, that's the positive side, and a short lead, I don't know if you can see that, that is the negative side. On the board, it's marked out in the center here with a plus and a minus. So you got to make sure you get the long lead through the plus end and the short lead through the minus end. And what I'm doing so that it fits is I am bending that capacitor so it lays parallel with the board. Flip it over then. And solder it down. Next I'm going to put on this ceramic capacitor, and that goes into the spot just below the electrolytic one. Finally, there's a resistor that came with it, a 10K resistor. I'll put that in the spot on this board that says 10K. Next thing I'm going to do is put the socket in. You can see there's a key shape in the top of the socket, and there is a key shape on the board. I try to put the socket in so it lines up on the board correctly. Last thing we need to put on is another row of headers to go across the top. This one is 5 by 5. That's our finished board. Still need to clean some of the wires off the back. The last thing we need to do is place the chip in. Make sure again the keyed side, there's a half moon on the edge of the chip. If you can see that on the camera on this side, you need to make sure that matches up with the keyed end of our socket. Should be grounded when you're handling ICs. I at this moment am not, and I don't know how sensitive this chip is. Now we've got to put the 8x8 LED matrix on. So on this, you'll notice on this board there was a square box in the board on the lower right hand corner pin. Now we want to make that match with the one that's the grounding pin in the bottom of the matrix. And that appears to be this pin. See about the lines, instead of going on its own line, it's touching the other lines. Okay, all that's left to do is to plug it into our breadboard and see if it works with the rest of the dot matrix displays.